big news in the NFL coming out of Houston / Arizona. This man, J.J. Watt, one of the greatest defensive players ever, is signing a 2-year deal, $31 million, $23 million that guaranteed. That's a lot of
Imagine, like, that's just how much money you're worth. Like, we kind of just throw it around because that's the number, but, like, really just think about that. Like, what?
Yeah, I know. Just to literally have 23, if he stays the whole 2 years, to just have $23 million just thrown into your bank account like that is, to me, is just
How do you even send people that much money? Like, how does that work?
Just got it like that. That's that sports market. That's that dealing with some big money over there. But now let's talk about that move for a second. Obviously, departing from Houston not too long ago, and then kind of doing some cryptic messaging and whatnot on Twitter. A lot of people trying to decipher some of these tweets and whatnot. I saw a lot about potential Packers, maybe the Bills.
That's what I thought, dude. I was sold on Bills.
Bills for sure. I thought maybe a Colts thing in there, whatnot, but ended up on the Arizona Cardinals, reuniting with that boy DeAndre Hopkins, Nuke. And my gut reaction, initial reaction to this trade was defense is going to be all right, man. When your two ends, when your left and right end are Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt, that's a scary sight, man.
That's incredible.
Since 2012, the two leaders in sacks, Chandler Jones is number 1 with 97. J.J. Watt is number 2 with 92. So sacks, I know they play in 3-4 schemes, obviously being in Arizona, and J.J. Watt, which are very sack friendly to the end spots. That's a lot of fucking sacks, brother. A lot of sacks going on. Obviously, Chandler Jones was hurt last year. Didn't get really to see any of him. J.J. Watt, for the most part, who's been kind of injury prone his whole career, has been able to, have a full, complete season last year and obviously put up really good numbers and whatnot. The Texans just kind of stunk. So, I like this defense. If I'm looking at this defense in a vacuum, like I said, Chandler Jones, obviously, potential Hall of Famer right there. J.J. Watt.
They got Buda Baker out there on the safety position. Did they just lose Pat Pete? Isn't he gone now?
They did just lose Pat Pete, which I think stings a little bit. If they would have had any foresight to see that J.J. Watt was coming, they probably would have kept Pat Pete just for that leadership.
I mean, just even those 3 big names we just said. I mean, those 3 guys can carry your defense.
Well, especially that man, I like Isaiah Simmons too. We saw him get taken. I think it was 6 or 7 last year at that pick out of Clemson. It took him a long time because he didn't really have a position. We're talking about a guy that can play safety, can play linebacker, can play corner, just an overall athlete kind of guy. And we haven't really seen that in a while, where he started to kind of come into his own, especially at that middle linebacker safety position last year. But definitely took about 3/4 of the year for them to kind of find out what they wanted to do with Isaiah Simmons. And I really like him, man. Like I said, for the most part, I think this defense is a really good combination of some young guys and a couple old vets. Obviously, Chandler Jones, J.J. Watt in that front 7. That's going to be a handful. Now, my thing with Arizona is, there's about 4 or 5 weeks during this last season where, it looked like they were going to fuck around, run up a chip or something.
Oh, yeah.
And Kyler Murray was on a fire. This offense was absolutely electric. And obviously, guys like Buda Baker and whatnot kind of had a coming out party a little bit and are ascending. Just here's my thing. I do take into account too, Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins get to now have a full off season together and whatnot, get to build that chemistry. I'm not sure what's going on with that man, Larry Fitzgerald or whatnot. But I don't really know if this team got all that better. I'm not going to lie, especially, losing Pat Pete. I know J.J. Watt is a transcendent player and whatnot, but he is a lot older now. And like I said, obviously Chandler Jones, J.J. Watt, that's really scary to think about. But they finished last season 8-8, and I kind of just looking at the team now, especially in that division, I'm really my best, my 9-7 maybe.
I mean, the problem with this team before they acquired J.J. Watt wasn't the defense. It was getting points on offense, being able to close out games in that fourth quarter, last 5 minutes. They just really weren't able to get it done. And that it wasn't on the defense. It was on Kyler Murray and that offense. They were very inefficient. And besides D-Hop, they really don't got that many weapons out there. No disrespect to Larry Fitzgerald. Do not take that wrong. But they just need another guy out there in the receivers. They need a better running back. Chase Edmonds, all right. Who's that other Joe they got back there?
Kenyon Drake.
Like Kenyon Drake number 41 on him, good rotational back, can catch some balls out the backfield, but they just need more for me on that offense. I mean, obviously defense 100% improves with J.J. Watt. Houston's obviously looking a little bit worse without J.J. Watt, but we knew this was going to happen. So I don't know. I'd like to see it pan out for him. I really thought he was ring chasing here. Does not appear to be the case.
Yeah, definitely. That did take me a surprise. I think it was probably just at this point, the Packers and whatnot, teams like that, and the Bills. It probably just came down to the money, really. At the 31,
like 2 years. You want me to do what?
Yeah, $23 million guaranteed is kind of a lot for. I don't know, but that's a weird one because I mean, J.J. Watt walks in the door, your team did get better,
For sure.
But like we said though, at the end of the day, Packers wanted him and this and all that, but this was up to J.J. Watt. I mean, every single team would have probably wanted to sign J.J. Watt, and at the end of the day, it was up to him. So Arizona, I mean, probably wanted to go somewhere it was warm, and whatnot. And like I said, I think that team is on the up and up. But like I said,
sure. I don't think they're one season away from the Super Bowl, though. I really don't.
Definitely not. And like I said, I'm not going to turn this into a Kyler Murray conversation or nothing like that. But I have had some growing concerns with Kyler Murray. I have, in the past said similar things about Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray, just sort of that play style and whatnot. And as far as that goes, as winning a championship, great regular season players, great numbers, but just don't think right now in the league that necessarily wins you a championship. Tom Brady just won his 7th Super Bowl, and this dude can't run 5 yards. I don't think
his prop bet every week was 1 yard.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, at the end of the day, they're going to have a great team, like I said. In this division, though, and here's my thing. This leads me to a conversation of the 49ers and this man Trent Williams right now, who they acquired last year with a first-round pick from Washington. They're going to have to go ahead and lock that boy in. That is definitely, I think, on the 49ers' first priority right now to go ahead and get Trent Williams to be able to contain what's about to happen in Arizona. And like I said, with the Rams, go ahead and get in Matt Stafford. Obviously, don't exactly know what's going to happen in Seattle, but with Seattle being a great football team, and I do think if the 49ers are able to come back and stay healthy and be a healthy football team, that they're also going to be a problem. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I do think the Cardinals got better and whatnot.
For sure. I mean, it's just not a good look. Like, you don't want J.J. Watt in your division. Like, that's going to hurt.
No, for sure. You're going to, and that's why I'm saying for the 49ers, for sure, you're going to have to lock down that left tackle.
It's 2 times a year. You're going to be hurting.
You're going to be hurting for sure. Like I said, there's teams in Houston's division that couldn't figure that shit out for years. So J.J. Watt obviously ran up some Hall of Fame numbers and whatnot. But I still, at this point in time, I still just see them as the 4th best team in that division. I don't really see them going anywhere. My stock has 100% increased in the Rams now. If you ask me right now who I have coming out of that division, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Rams. Especially acquiring Matt Stafford and whatnot, who I think at least for this year will have a better year than Jared Goff. So, I mean, I think Arizona's got a lot to figure out. Definitely not saying they're going to be a bad football team at all. Kyler Murray's going to run up some highlight plays. Chandler Jones, J.J. Watt going to get some sacks. Championship caliber team, though, just don't really think so right yet. Maybe I'm just stupid that maybe they are, but
it might hit, another year with that Cliff Kingsbury starting to click. I mean, there might be something there for sure. I see the appeal on JJ Watt's side, but I do think there was better options.
I do think there is better options, definitely. I mean, you got to think, bro, you plug him into, with the Packers going on or something. Or
put him on the Rams.
Team like the Rams, even the Seahawks, you know what I'm saying? That'd have been nasty. Seahawks definitely really could have used that.
You could make an argument for any team.
Any team,
instantly better with him.
100%. Jets could have used them, like for sure. Definitely any argument for any team. So definitely going to be watching some damn Cardinals games this year. I know that. I mean, I already planned on it, but that'll be fun. A couple fun Sundays. Watch that team go out there and play. So big shout out to J.J. Watt, man. Like I said, legend, Hall of Famer, first ballot, dudes. Top 5, I think, defensive players probably ever. You know what I'm saying? And obviously another dude in that division, Aaron Donald, is making his case for sure.
Perfect.